Alright guys, welcome back. I have gone through all the storyline stuff here in Guadosalam. So now we can get back to all of the important things that we need to do while we're here. First thing, there's a chest right over here somewhere that you need to pick up. That contains 8 lightning marbles, which is enough to customize, now that we can do that, lightning proof on an armor. So let's go ahead and do our customizing real quick. I'm gonna sort everything out first. Okay. So customize. Now we've got a couple options here. HP plus 10, Dark Ward, Stone Proof. But what I'm gonna put it on is this ring we purchased earlier that has the Fire Ward and the SOS Nulltide, because that gives us 3 elemental resistances and or negations. So I'm going to go ahead and add lightning proof to that guy. Now, you want to do this with every character except Titus. Reason being, Titus actually does obtain his own lightning proof armor once you get halfway through this area. So that's the one you do not want to do it on. Now, if my controller will start working properly, we also want to add... Where is my break rod? Break rod, there it is. Well, I'm not ready for it yet, but we do want to add evade and counter to this break rod. Now the way we're going to do that is we need to get a teleport sphere. In the game, the only 2 ways that I know of to get a teleport sphere are, first of all, there are 2 in Beaconell Island when you're dealing with those dudes. Well, once we get there, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the other way is to play blitzball, and it's now time to play blitzball. So if you haven't played it by now, remember, you want to make sure that you get a teleport sphere out of the league the first time you play it. And the way you do that is that you do the reset trick that I showed you probably almost 10 videos ago now, but much earlier in my walkthrough. So you want to do that. Now I'm going to show you the team that I've put together so far. It doesn't have everyone that you would want to use. There are characters that don't become available until later. But the team that I've put together starts with Titus, Shammy. I'm putting Rop as a midfielder right now. And then we're going to put Jasu and Bada as defense, just as a placeholder. And then use Miyu as the goaltender. Now, some of these characters are not on the normal team. Most of them are not, of course. From the original team, we're using Titus, Jasu, and Bada. But the new characters, Shammy, Rop, and Miyu. Shammy comes from Luca right after you've unlocked Blitzball. Rop comes from the first travel agency right thereafter, right where you fought the Chocobo Eater. I believe I mentioned him in a previous movie as well. And then Miyu is on the side of the Moonflow just after you've done the Shoe Puff ride and the battle underwater. So that's where you pick those people up. So now, and that's about all I need to talk about here. I guess I will play a little bit for you. I'm not too worried about like marks at this point. I'll do that once I actually get going in the games, and then. But this one, I want to show you just a little bit of myself playing this game. I know it's blitzball, I know it's fairly boring, it's like an RPG for a sports game, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, it's pretty straightforward. Now the reason we picked up Shammy is because she has attack, endurance, and shot stats, which are beautiful stats for a forward to have. Okay. Now the reason we have Rop in the middle though is because with him in the middle, he's the best defender in the game in my opinion, in most people's opinion, from the FAQs that I've read, and so he is a fantastic mid until you can gain access to Lina, which is my favorite midfielder. He doesn't have any kind of a shot, but he's right in the middle of the sphere, so anyone that kind of comes forward is pretty much going to be gonna be running into him, and then he usually takes the ball away from there. So, but yes, as I mentioned, Lina is a great pickup. You get her right when you first get to, right before you get to the Makalania Temple after the lake. So between the lake and the temple. So if you can pick her up, she's a great midfielder because she has great block, which complements Shami's attack stat. Usually the two of them happen to get on the midfielder right away, so that helps out a lot. And just as you can see, Rop is just grabbing the ball like crazy and doing what he does. So, and defenseman, my favorite team, I don't really have a best defenseman for it to complement Rop. Really what I usually do is I just try to get the Albed Sykes to drop one of their defensive girls, and sometimes that helps and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, that's sad. Shami got poisoned. But in general, it's just a matter of, you know, getting those core four, Titus, Lina, Shami, Rop, and then going from there. So, and that's about all I want to talk about here. I mean, you can see how I'm playing. I'm trying to use Rop to get the ball to the forwards, and then just use the forwards to score. And that's pretty much my strategy here. A little harder when I'm going to play the Albed Sykes, but basically the story is that you want to do this so that you can get that teleport sphere by this point in the game, and then that's basically the weapon you're going to be using for the rest of the game up until the very, very end. So just something to keep in mind there. And that's about it. So I'm gonna cut it off here, and I think that's it.